friends. Thanks for joining me again this morning. And anyone who's joining me for the first time for our little chat, big welcome to you. And if you enjoy this channel, please subscribe and remember to hit the little notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about happiness. Yes, I know the subject's talked about a lot, but it's such an important subject. And so often, if I ask somebody, if they had one wish, what would it be? And their answer is always happiness. I suppose happiness is something different for all of us, isn't it? It means something different. For some it may mean being loved, others it may mean money, a good job. Whatever your interpretation of happiness is, I'm sure you'll agree that it is right up there with one of the most important aspects of your life. I've put together a few, just 4 or 5 actually, what I call happiness rules. And if we keep them to a minimum, I think it'd probably be easier to stick to them. And the first one, I think the most important one, is to be yourself. Because if you're pretending to be somebody different to suit everybody else around you, well, you're never really going to be happy, are you? You're never really going to be doing the things that make you happy, and you're constantly going to be just doing everything that pleases everybody else. Do you have something that you haven't actually shared with anyone that you really just don't enjoy? And everyone else seems to enjoy it, and so you just keep quiet about it and you go with the flow. Perhaps you don't like watching sports events with a whole bunch of friends on a Saturday, or drinking beers and cheering on your team. Maybe you hate that sort of thing and you've never even told anyone. Maybe there are a lot of things that you don't like. And maybe you never ever do any of the things that you like doing. So I think you should give this some thought, because ultimately, if you're going to be happy, it's going to start with you. Not those around you, not keeping all those around you, your family and your friends, all happy, doing what they want to do. It's ultimately going to start with you. Do your friends and your family even know what your likes and dislikes are? What you believe in? What you don't believe in? So my point here is to give this some thought and make sure that you are being yourself. First and foremost, you need to be yourself to try and achieve any happiness or contentment in your life. Number 2 is going to sound like a strange one, but hear me out. Control your behavior. Yes, I know this sounds strange, but you have no control over anything that happens in your life. Things happen on a daily basis that you have no control over, and you have no control over how you're going to feel about them. People disappoint you, people make you angry. It's how you react to that that is going to give you either a positive or a negative outcome. If somebody, a friend, family member, whoever it is, really does something to make you angry and you lash out verbally, saying a lot of things that perhaps you can't take back, at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to be left feeling guilty, sorry for what you've done. Instead of controlling your behavior and having a constructive conversation about what happened, and at the end of the day, both feeling happy. We need to remember that being polite is not a feeling, It's a choice. And if we make a rule for ourselves to control our behavior and to be polite, now this may sound like something that not that connected to being happy, but just try it. As opposed to the opposite of being impolite, rude, lashing out, and saying exactly what comes to mind without giving it any thought. So that's my rule number 2. Excuse me, I'm just having a sip of my coffee. I think that rule number 3 should be never expecting anything in return for what you do. If you are constantly expecting something in return, you know you're going to be disappointed. You're going to end up being resentful. And you know, nobody's even going to notice. Yes, I know you do things for your children all the time, for your husband, for your partner, and you'd like that person or those people to be more appreciative. Yes, you can mention it to them, but don't wait for rewards for everything you do. And out of the family too, any donations you may give or kindness you may show to someone, don't expect anything in return. If you are expecting something in return, in fact, I would say that should raise a red flag for you. Perhaps you need to look at your motives for doing what you're doing. But if you do everything right from the heart, inside and out of the family, and do it out of love, expecting nothing in return, there won't be any resentment on your part, and no resentment equals happy. My rule number 4 is practice gratitude. Practice gratitude every single day. Yes, some mornings you may wake up and think, I've got absolutely nothing to be grateful for today. I feel awful, whatever, everything's going wrong in my life. I promise you, you do have things to be grateful for. And even if you really are battling to find things to be grateful for, by even being grateful for that cup of coffee you had this morning, for that comfortable warm bed that you had last night, just anything, you're in the shower, just look up and be grateful for the water that's pouring out of the shower head. Find something to be grateful for. It's good for you, it's good for your mind, it's good for your soul to be grateful. And you will find that the more you practice gratitude, the more you'll realize that you have a lot to be grateful for. Practice your gratitude at the same time every day, perhaps in the shower, or when you're putting your makeup on, whatever it is, but make it the same time so that something reminds you to give thanks for at least one thing every day. And the last one, which is not really a rule for happiness, it's more of a question to you. Are you unhappy? And if you are unhappy, why are you unhappy? Perhaps you need to sit down and take a pen and paper and write down exactly why you are unhappy. Is it your job? Is it the relationship you're in? Are your finances in a mess? What is it? What is it that's making you unhappy? And then I challenge you to look at those things individually and find a way to make them right. Because complaining about them every day is only making the problem worse. You know, your thoughts become your reality. And if you're thinking the same thing every day about how much you hate your boss, telling everybody how much you hate your boss, is that going to make your job any better? No, it's not. It's going to make you feel worse. If you feel you need professional help, then get some. or perhaps even the help of a friend. Maybe you need to make some changes in your life, and that may take some real strength. And maybe you'll need to lean on someone, maybe a good friend. But if you need to make changes in order to be happy, then make the changes. You know, many years ago, a very good friend of mine said to me one day, "For heaven's sake, either get divorced or stop complaining about your marriage." My goodness. I couldn't believe it. Was that me she was talking about? Yes, it was me. Is that you? Have you become that person who just complains and complains and does nothing about it? Wishes that she was happy and does nothing about it? Wishes her finances weren't in such a mess, but keeps spending, keeps going into overdraft, keeps taking loans? Are you that person? Now, I'm not meaning to sound bossy, but we are talking about happiness, and it's a very important subject. And if there's something that's keeping you from being happy, it's actually your responsibility to do something about it. For all of those around you, but mostly for yourself. Has being unhappy perhaps become a bad habit for you? Perhaps it has. Think about that. Perhaps you're so used to being unhappy that you don't expect anything else of your day. Or change that from today. Make being happy your new habit. Remember to be yourself. Do it slowly. Everyone's going to be very shocked when you start refusing invitations to things that you've always joined in on before. Remember to be disciplined. Watch that behaviour, thereby always getting a positive outcome. Be grateful. And have a serious look at the reasons in your life why you are perhaps unhappy, and turn them around and make life work for you. No one else is going to do it for you, by the way. The only person who's going to make you happy is you. So don't wait for anyone else to do it. Take care. Until next time. Bye for now.